Hello, 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 and welcome into my channel, Skies and Flora. My name is Shaka. As you will see from the title today, I really wanted to talk about healing today and just see what the cards come up in terms of our healing. And I just wanted to say a few words before we pull some cards about this subject. So healing is really like a lifelong thing. Like there's never a point at which you're completely healed. But I think there is moments in our lives where our journeys can look slightly different. We might be working with different things and different things are coming up. And maybe there's dominant lessons that are coming up at any given time. And I wanted to explore that in the cards. And I think the healing journey is sometimes about doing. Often I think in our culture we often think that healing is about doing something. There's something we're doing to get to somewhere. And sometimes that can be the case, sometimes that is the case. But sometimes healing's about undoing. So unlearning, unraveling, releasing. Sometimes healing is about non-doing, resting, surrendering, taking a step back. And I think when we know how to work with these different energies, then our healing journey can become more fruitful. So in that essence, in that vein, that's what we'll be looking at today. And so the question is, as you see, is, you know, tell me more about my healing journey. So this is just hopefully guidance for you to know where you're at in your healing journey, what would be useful for you to know at the moment, and what energies might you want to be working with. What kind of doing, non-doing or undoing might be useful for you. So as always, there's 3 piles to choose from. So pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. I'll also be working with the Healing with Angels cards oracle as well. So we'll be pulling a few of those because I thought they're nice, gentle, using my nice gentle cards today. So all about healing. So pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. Again, just dropping into your heart center, taking a moment to connect. And when you're ready, we'll get into the reading. Okay, so pile number 1. Let's see. Tell me more. Okay, pile number 1. Tell me more about your healing journey. Your healing journey, where are you at? What are you working with? Please, Spirit. Pile number 1. Healing journey. Let's see what comes up. Okay. Alright, so we've got 4 here. I was going to get 3, but you've got 4. Beautiful. You've got new love, study, balance, and divine timing. Okay. Okay. Let's see what the cards say. Spirit. Pile number 1. Tell me more about the healing journey. So straight away, this feels like this is in the area of love and relationships. 8 of Swords. There's something about waiting. So new love suggests that you're not in a relationship at the moment. Study is about learning, growth. It feels also about, you know, like confidence as well. Rebuilding our confidence, rebuilding our sense of self, our sense of faith, or faith in ourselves, confidence. And this is a balance that needs to be struck. And I might read this balance. I'm going to read this balance to you. And divine timing, you know, again, you've got the arrows of this love. So if you're asking that question of like when, you know, in terms of love and relationships, you know, often people say, you know, that relationships, that somehow, you know, you have to be fully healed before you get into a relationship, or somehow that, you know, you have to do all this healing before you get into a relationship. It's simply not the case, because our healing is lifelong. So what we want are relationships in which we can continue our healing journey with someone who's also on a healing journey. And so here, there just feels like there's some timing here. Yeah, just about timing. So you've got the arrows here, the little cherubs, and you've got the cherub here. So that's the, you know, the Cupid's arrow will strike at the right time. And this balance, this feels, because I've got this, you know, they're holding this, the weight of the world almost, this feels like with this balance, sort of holding the weight of the world in your hands, almost like you are responsible for this. And I think this is, you know, divine timing is about surrender as well, you know, surrendering to the divine. You know, the divine, you know, knows better. And it's just about trusting that. And this study is about growth and learning and rebuilding yourself. So let's see what the cards say. So pile number 1. Tell me more about the healing journey, please, Spirit. Okay. Alright, so we've got the 4 of Swords, the 10 of Swords, the Page of Wands, and then the King of Pentacles. Interesting. You've got a lot of swords here. Let's see, one more. There you go. One more. And then the Page of Swords. Right, so out of 5 cards, sorry, 6. I can't count. 6 cards. 4 of them are swords. You've got 2 pages here. Let's see. Let me get into these. So this very much feels like let go and let God, that expression. Yeah? There's like a holding on very tightly here. Even in this 4 of Swords, which is really about rest and recuperation and very much about healing. Sort of coming back to oneself, coming back to one's body, coming back to a place of grounding, a place of just divine knowledge. It feels, with all these swords here, it feels like even that's not even happening here. Yeah? You know, 10 of Swords, as we know, is absolute endings. It's betrayal. It's dark night of the soul. It's our lowest ebb. It's the point at which, you know, things can only get better. Yeah? And it feels like that's where we're at here. And it's almost like it's had to come off the back where things have become so stagnated for you, where it has to come to this in order for, you know, the light to come back in. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry. And sometimes it's like that, you know, and that's why I say with this balance, this holding on, because sometimes, you know, like that's what it says, like let go and let God. When we feel like we've got to do all the work here, I've got to manage everything in life, I've got to manage it all to make everything happen. And it feels like that's kind of what's happened here, to a point where almost like there's no energy left, and things have come to a standstill. But this is a blessing in disguise. As we know, you know, 10 of Swords is a turnaround. It can be deeply painful, but it's also a turnaround. It's also a blessing in disguise. It allows the sun to come up again. It allows the light to come back in. And then you've got the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords, and then the King of Pentacles in the middle here. So I'll be honest, with these 2 pages, it feels very immature. It feels like a very immature energy. Not necessarily a bad energy, but an immature energy. Which is where this study, I feel like, is coming in. This growth, this learning. You know, both the pages have, you know, they've been given gifts in the world. And they're just raring to go out into the world and actually put these gifts into action. And, you know, there's an experimentation there. There's an experimentation of, you know, trying things out on the world and seeing what works, and that's a growing and a learning process. So the pages are at the very beginning of that process of learning. You know, this page of wands is learning what the wand is, what it does in the world, what happens. But you know, it can be a little bit unwieldy. Yeah, there's a little bit of immaturity here. So this feels like there's a beginning here. There's a beginning of something. You're gaining new gifts. You're learning new gifts. This situation, this ending, this lowest ebb has also brought with it some gifts for you, and you're learning now. This is a new, you know, learning what to do with these gifts. Yeah, how they make a difference in the world. Wands is deeply spiritual. Wands are about you know, your life path, your essence, your spirituality. So out of this has come that strengthening actually of your spiritual path. And the Page of Swords is also, you know, here I see not just knowledge, but also like again, confidence. You know, that's what I say. There's a connection between this knowledge that you're gaining, but then also this confidence and this, you know, like I love this Page of Swords. The way that they're depicted here, if you can see, is they've kind of got their sword up like they're about to, you know, like they're about to take, you know, they're about to swing essentially. And here I feel like this is a good thing, because this is actually about defending your honor. And it's having the confidence to do that. And you know, you defend your honor when you know, when you know, I want to say you know yourself, but you have not, like the foundations of your knowledge is strong. So you feel confident about wielding that knowledge, but also defending yourself in that. This Page of Pentacles, I want to just get just a few clarifiers on this. So please, Spirit, just clarify this Page of Pentacles for me. Please clarify this Page of Pentacles. Okay. Oh, King of Wands at the bottom. Chariot, Knight of Pentacles. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, this is success. This is about moving forward. It's very interesting that you've got two different energies here. You've got this kind of slow, methodical energy of the Knight of Pentacles, and then this, you know, real pushing forward with the Chariot. But this feels like about integrity. So this really feels like about, you know, keeping your integrity. Like I said, you don't have to manage it all. You don't have to do everything yourself. Let the divine come in a little bit, and that's what that is, releasing that. And this is about partnership. You know, Chariot comes after the Lovers. This is about partnership, about moving forward in a relationship. So if this King of Pentacles is you, or the partner that you're seeking, the King of Pentacles really does represent, you know, he's really the father. Like, yeah, like very much like a father figure. Stability, you know, focused on his pentacle, obviously focused on money, focused on the material. But this feels very much like focused on comfort, focused on material comfort. I feel like this is what you're bringing in. So I feel like this is, you know, either this is an energy that you're starting to embody, and then you're bringing in this energy. And so I just feel like this is saying, look, your instinct is right. You know, you know you want a love relationship. And there's something about trusting the divine timing of that. In the meantime, there's something about, you know, growing, learning in your knowledge, not holding, you know, not holding everything. So let me just quickly read this for you, this balance. Let's see what it says. Has your schedule been lopsided lately? Be sure to balance your time between work, play, spirituality, exercise and relationships. The angels know that you're busy with many earthly demands in your time. They want to help you with your responsibilities through the process of balance. Whenever our schedules become disproportionate, our energy drops. Lowered energy creates the illusion that there isn't enough time in the day, so a vicious cycle of limitation ensues. So your angels are asking you to do meditation, exercise, and also play, which is very important. balance your life between work, play, spirituality, exercise and relationships. This will help you grow and feel joy. So if you feel overloaded by your responsibilities, don't hesitate to ask God and the angels to lift your burden. And this does, but this feels like it's more in the balance, like you're holding everything up in your life and thinking that you have to do everything yourself. And I feel like this is, you know, this has caused a lot of stagnation. I feel like, you know, here we've had our lowest ebb now, but actually this is incredibly positive. So it's opening up space for the new to come in, the new love, yeah, divine timing to grow in our gifts. And success is here, but I feel like this is just take your time, be slow, be integral, yeah. So I hope that makes sense. I'll leave it there for now. As always, do let me know in the comments below, and I hope that does help. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Hello and welcome in. Pile number 2. So let's get you some angel healing with angel cards just to begin with. So pile number 2. Tell me more about the healing journey. Okay. Children. Tell me more about the healing journey. Pile number 2, please, Spirit. Oh, lovely. Playfulness. It's a very clear message. And just one more, please, Spirit. Tell me more about the healing journey. For pile number 2. Here's one more. Ooh. Support. Beautiful. Well, this very much feels like inner child healing. Yeah, very much so. Very clear. If you have children, I feel like this is something you can learn from watching them in their, you know, watching children play, watching how children see the world, watching how children interact with the world and see things. I feel like this is something that could really help you also. But even if you don't have children, you know, connecting to your inner child, there's something about this that's going to be really helpful for you, because I feel like this support is saying, and sometimes that's what happens, you know, when we're children, we're very dependent. You know, children are very dependent on adults, and when we become adults, we forget that, and we think that we, like, again, we must do everything ourselves, actually. And this is sort of saying, you know, you can afford to maybe not be so much dependent, but this support says, look, there's an energy of support around you that's what allows you to connect with the energy of playfulness and connect with the energy of your inner child, or the energy of that childlike energy, if that makes sense. I hope that does. And support, you've got the angels, you've got the higher, the ascended masters, you know, around the world, like offering support. So this is spiritual support. But I feel like this is support of, you know, it could be friendships, groups, relationships, family, you know, even in work, or your, you know, whatever that is to kind of support you to feel that you're able to then relax and then, you know, come more into this childlike energy, this playfulness that children have. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. So let's see what the cards say. So pile number 2. Tell us more about the healing journey for pile number 2, please, Spirit. Tell me more about the healing journey for pile number 2, please. Oh, nearly. Okay. Okay, Knight of Swords. Yeah. Okay. Pile number 2, please. Ten of Cups, 2 of Cups, lovely. Okay, 2 more, please, Spirit, for pile number 2. Tell us more about this healing journey. again, just one more please, Spirit. Oh, Six of Cups. Wow. Beautiful. Wow. Okay. Okay. Nine of Wands at the bottom. Let's see. Three of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. Okay. This is lovely. This is really beautiful. Okay. So this is a really interesting message for whoever I'm talking to. So you've got like, maybe like three of the most positive relationship cards here in the deck, in the middle. You've got Three of Wands. So this could literally be about starting a family as well. Yeah. So, and especially here with this Three of Wands, can talk about that. And then you've got this Nine of Pentacles, which is interesting that we've got the nine of Wands at the bottom. And those two together, you know, talk about essentially like hyper independence as a trauma response, essentially. Yeah. Not on their own, but like together. That's what those two cards represent for me. And then you've got all of these cards here which really talk about doing things together. Two of Cups, two becoming one. Ten of Cups, building a family together, building a life together. Six of Cups, again, this is about soulmate, deep connection, family, roots. This is all like really emotional, connected energy, like really deep, profound, deep connections with people, whether that be, you know, your family, your friends, or a romantic and love relationship. This is really beautiful. And there's something about this that I feel like it's going to be deeply expansive, deeply transformative. But we've got some resistance here. We've got some resistance on either side. So we've got some hyper independence here, which is really, you know, used to doing things on your own, and so wanting to continue to do things on your own. This Knight of Swords, there's a kind of resistance, a kind of and it's interesting because when the Knight of Swords came out, the first thing I thought was, yeah, like speeding, like going too fast. Like this is all like, you know, like think about when kids come into like the sand pit and play. There just seems to be like infinite time where kids just get involved in role play, in fun, and in order to do that, there's a safe container. Yeah, there's a safe container for us to be able to do that. And the same is true even when we're adults. That there's a safe container for within which that we can start to have more fun with life, basically. And I feel like that's where the resistance is, because there's a feeling here of like, no, I've got too much to do, it's all on me, I've got to do it, but you know what I mean. So I feel like the healing here is really around learning to come into community, into relation, to know that there can be an expansive energy within the relational space. You know, I know often, a lot of people think that, you know, commitment means life is over, that's the end. You know, somehow that doesn't, everything stops there. But actually it's the opposite is true. Within these deeply, you know, this is a beautiful relationship, within the right relationships, of course. Actually there's deep expansion and transformation that can come. It's lovely because you've got these little butterflies here. And threes are always about making more of, procreation, yeah? Or co-creation, really, actually, with the Two of Cups, more about co-creating. But like I said, there's a little bit of resistance here. So if there is, I feel like there's love already in your life. So if it feels like there is a love here already in your life, and I think it's got a real potential to be deeply transformative, deeply expansive. But there's a part of you that's still holding on, and that's resisting this. And this message for you is quite clear. It's quite straightforward in that it's very safe actually for you, that you're allowed to let some of this go. You don't need to carry this and hold this. That you are supported. And that there's a new kind of growth. You're going to learn a new way of being in the world, in this relationship, which is not based on survival, having to do it by yourself, you know, hyper independence, you know, rushing around and, you know, trying to make things happen and having to be like the adult all the time. And, you know, Knight of Swords is stressed. The Knight of Swords is stressed out. Because there's an urgency to everything. Yeah, the Knight of Swords feels like there's an urgency that I've got to do, you know, there's an urgency here. And that's why I say playfulness isn't about urgency. Playfulness is about trust. It's about saying I'm safe, I'm contained, and within that I can have fun. I can play in the playground of life safely. And I feel like this support is just letting you know that it's available for you to do this now, to let go and enjoy this relationship. And if your question is around, you know, this person, it feels like this is someone who's already around you or already in your life. And I feel like this is definitely very positive. This is someone who you can love, who can love you. This is a very deeply healing relationship. With this Six of Cups, you know, can heal old wounds. You know, like I said, you know, when we talk about the healing, the undoing of the healing, unlearning. If you've learned that relationships, you know, are not safe, they're hurtful, it's better that I do things by myself. I feel like here, this relationship has the capacity to teach you how to grow and expand in communion, yeah, in union, in the safe container of a loving relationship. Anything else? This is just beautiful. I mean, there's really, I don't think there's anything else really I can say here other than this is a really, really beautiful energy for whoever I'm speaking to. And I think it's just about letting your guard down, trusting a little bit more, and being a little bit more playful. And whether that's, you know, with your own children, observing them, or coming into this more childlike energy, or, but you know, if there's conception on the cards also, again, this feels incredibly positive, and you have the support here, so that, you know, you can feel safe in this. There's nothing for you to worry about. It's time to drop some of these burdens around, you know, having to do everything by yourself, and some of the stress around that. So this is really beautiful, beautiful healing message. So again, I hope that resonates. I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you, of course, next time. Okay, so welcome in pile number 3. Let's get you some healing with the angels cards first of all. So pile number 3, tell me more about the healing journey. Pile number 3 is on, please, Spirit. Tell me more about the healing journey that pile number 3 is on. I'm going to take those. I feel like they wanted to come. Oh wow, beautiful. Soulmate, self-acceptance, ideas and inspiration. This is beautiful. This is really lovely. So if you've got a soulmate connection around you, you know, this feels like this could be very triggering. Soulmate connections often are deeply triggering, because they trigger our deepest wounds in the relational space, and actually have a very big potential for being deeply healing. So this definitely feels like around the area of relationships. Self-acceptance, ideas and inspiration. If there's feelings of unworthiness, you know, not feeling worthy, that's where our healing, yeah, you know, we need to do some work around it, accepting, apologies for that noise, helicopters, and it's warm in here, so I've got all the windows open, so yeah, apologies for the helicopter noise. it's just accepting yourself as you are. Yeah, there's nothing else you need to be other than actually who you are. And a lot of healing can come from just accepting yourself as you are. And ideas and inspiration, this you know, this does feel like being inspired, feeling motivated and engaged with life again. This is beautiful, but if this is coming from this soulmate relationship, this feels like maybe there's a relationship around you that's drawing these lessons to the forefront. And sometimes that's the nature of these things. Sometimes with a relationship, you know, we're not aware of these things until we get into relationships, and sometimes that's where some of this stuff becomes very apparent. But this is the beauty. This is why these deep connected relationships can be very healing. Yeah, so let's see what the cards say. Let's see. So Spirit, card number 3, what is the healing journey here, please? What is the healing journey here? Oh wow, the Master. Loving this. This is this card isn't in the traditional tarot, interestingly enough. The Sun, beautiful. Wow, it's incredibly positive. All majors so far, no thingness. Adventure. Again, this ideas and its inspiration, beautiful. Just one more, please, Spirit. Okay, mind. Well, this is really, really, again, it just feels very, very clear, which is very much, you have 3 major arcanas here. So this is a major time in your life. This definitely feels like very much connected to this soulmate relationship, yeah? This is, you know, I don't talk about twin flame on my channel. It's not really something I subscribe to, so I don't talk about it a lot. But I think there is a lot in the twin flame journey. There's a lot of things. Well, what is called the twin flame journey, which is about awakening, healing, growth, spiritual development, learning about who you are, and learning about your gifts, particularly your spiritual gifts. That these deep kinds of connections can draw out. But it's just that I don't really like the term and some of the connotations, so that's why I don't talk about it on my channel. But this very much feels like one of those kinds of journeys. So it feels like you've met someone that's initiated a deep, well, when I say it, like initiated a lot of growth. Yeah? So you've got 3 major arcanas here. Interestingly, what I was going to say about the Master. So the Master doesn't exist in traditional tarot. I'm using this as the Osho deck. So this is, it's based, it's kind of mirrors the Western tarot, but it has, you know, it's slightly different. Yeah, it's like slightly different meanings, and the Master doesn't exist in the traditional tarot. So Osho created this card himself with himself on the card, and yeah, it talks about mastery. You know, there's a mastering of our spiritual, well, a mastery of life, of understanding, of connection, peace, wisdom, acceptance, and then you've got the Sun card here, which I love because he calls it innocence. In the Osho deck it's called innocence, and this talks about a kind of joyfulness that comes even with experience. So here is like an old man who's sort of, you know, still, you know, showing all this wonder in the world. He still is filled with wonder with the world. And this is your mastery. I mean, whoever I'm talking to, this feels like quite spiritually advanced. Yeah, this feels like quite a spiritually advanced. So wherever you are on your healing journey, you really are at a point at which, you know, when I see these cards, I feel like there'll be a lot being asked of you at this time. Yeah, a lot that you're being asked to rise to. But it will be because you've already done a lot of work. Or, you know, you've already quite plugged in, basically. So you've got no thingness, which is the Hierophant in the traditional tarot, but here is no thingness. So, you know, talking about that no mind, the energy of no mind, and particularly because you've got these two pages here as well. What would be the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords? I'd also recommend looking at pile number 1, Page of Swords and the Page of Wands also showed up in that reading. Very similar place as well. And again, it feels like a very clear message. I don't feel like I'm getting my words out correctly, but this is a very clear message, yeah? No thingness, no mind. Also reminds me of like Fool energy, where you come to something, you're coming to life with no expectations, with no projections onto life. You're really allowing life to move through you. That's the mastery here. That's the mastery. To, even with our experience, even with all the things that we've been through, even all the things in the past, all of that we don't need to carry that into the future with us, that we can come with this innocence, this same like wonder of life, no thingness, like this. I can take the adventure, because you've got here the Page of Wands, which is an adventure in the Osho, and then you've got the mind, which is Page of Swords. And then you can see like here the mind, yeah, like is wrapped up. It's, you know, there's no energy here. There's definitely no inspiration here with this card, yeah. This is really like being tied up in the mind, like just like all of the thoughts, all of the thinking just ties us up to a point where nothing moves, nothing gets done, and then it's just like the brain is on fire, basically. And this feels like the opposite of that. This feels like the opposite. Like this is just here saying, like, I just feel like I don't feel like you're maybe in danger of this, but this is just saying this is what you're moving away from, yeah, in terms of your healing journey at the moment. This is about going into adventure. Look, this little child basically is walking into the light, walking into this rainbow, walking into the unknown, but is following the light. So if there is a relationship here that is, I feel like it will be drawing up a lot of stuff, and I feel like there's an adventure here to be had for you. Trust and follow the light. I feel like there's a lot of clearing that's going to be taking place with this relationship. I feel like it's going to be helping you reconnect even with these two cards, you know, innocence. Inner child, you know, and often so much of our healing is really about inner child healing. But this is feeling like, you know, again, it's going to reinvigorate you, reinvigorate your life, remotivate, and really helping you find acceptance with yourself. Because here there's no thingness, like no expectations, no projections. I accept, you know, there's an acceptance of things as they are. Innocence, although I've had experience, although I've had things that have happened to me, I can still come to life with wonder. And that's the mastery. That's here where you have kind of spiritual, that's spiritual mastery, essentially. It's so hard because the mind is the ego. The mind is the mind that says, can't do that, that won't happen, this is, you know, that happened before, so it's going to happen again, and it makes things stuck, yeah. Nothing moves, nothing grows, nothing, you know, nothing evolves in that kind of energy. And a soulmate relationship, and whether that's, you know, a love relationship, could be a love relationship, it could be any other kind of relationship or any other kind of interaction in your life, but this definitely feels like something has come into your life, and I feel like you may be feeling like it's creating a lot of havoc for you. But actually there is a lot of healing taking place. Actually, I feel like there's a lot of lessons that are coming up for you. And this is incredibly positive. It's going to take you out of your mind, because your mind is going to tell you, you know, all kinds of stories about what it should look like, what it should be, what's happened before, what you can and can't do, and this really isn't that time. This is really a time to go with the adventure, to walk into the unknown, move towards the light, even though it doesn't make sense. It's not going to make sense to the mind. The mind is going to go, don't do that, don't do that. But the body, your heart, your spirit is going to say, this makes me feel alive. And that's where your energy is going to go. Like I said, this ideas and inspiration, this is in reinvigoration. Anything else? A really, really interesting message for whoever I'm speaking to. So I do hope that makes sense. Do let me know if you have any questions, and do let me know if it resonates, as always, in the comment section. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will leave it there for now and see you again next time.